So do you watch basketball other than Syracuse? Did you watch the game last night? We were just talking about it. That Caitlin Clark is really phenomenal. Did they win last night? They did, yeah. I figured they would. Yeah. Right. I know at least now a couple other teams.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's definitely more interesting.
Well, and I'm excited for the men's Final Four to finally have other teams in there.
Yeah, I like that. I like to see that too.
Yeah.
You know their fans are probably super excited.
Purdue, first time in 44 years. NC State, first time. Well, and what's so crazy, my best friend from growing up in New Jersey, her daughter's at NC State, her son at Purdue.
Oh,
Like, what are the chances?
She needs one of those half and half shirts.
Well, especially for the next game. At least this previous round, they were playing at different times, but now they're playing each other. I'm like, I think you just need to be Switzerland on this one.
Yeah.
How are you? So Susan and the other Rose said yesterday was like the hardest yoga class I've ever led.
I ran into Debbie walking out there and I said, "Did you do the yoga?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Wasn't that a great class?" She said, "That was so good." And so,
Yeah.
It was like it just felt so good.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Very good.
How do you feel? I mean, the core work is so beneficial.
We introduce so many new things all the time. I can't remember it all.
Yeah.
I need a routine.
Well, I know there, and that's, you take a traditional Iyengar class, it's the same poses, same sequence, every single class. So it does exist, that kind of set series and stuff, but yeah, I've always mixed it up.
I like the variety.
I do too. The same thing, your body gets used to it.
Yeah.
You need the variety to work in different ways.
Yeah. And I try at least to kind of highlight a body part, Well, the core, I did this workshop on Friday. And then she did a hip workshop on Friday, and then a core workshop on Saturday. I couldn't go to the Saturday one, but you realize how important the core is in order to do the hip work.
Yeah.
So I got inspired, I guess, from from that.
I was grateful for your inspiration.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was just gonna come over and do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
All right. A couple of friends joining us in their, oh, good. Hi, Deb. Hi, Pat. All right. So we sore from yesterday. I just pulled up the playlist called Water. Continuing with our boat theme. So who wasn't here yesterday? Okay. So yesterday
You missed a good class.
they're like, I don't know. So for your benefit, I'll give you a snapshot version, but basically the pose Navasana, which is boat pose, where we're balancing on our sits bones and leaning back and finding the balance and the strength in this pose. This is an initial part of the pose, and then you can take it to the full expression. So focusing on that pose is one of my favorite books in the yoga world, Myths of the Asanas. So all of the asanas come from somewhere, right? All the poses, and there's poses that are in reference to animals and earth. So like cobra, downward dog, mountain pose, Tadasana. Then there's poses of the yogi, poses of the gods, poses of the sages. So this one falls into the category of, let's see. Sorry. Yeah, poses of the yogi. And there are ways, I guess, what's nice about the stories is that when you're in the pose, to sort of not attach yourself to that it's all physical, and to start working toward that yoking, which is yoga, yoking mind, body, and soul or spirit. And any moments that we can pull ourselves out of just the physical. So some of these stories are great to think about when you're in the pose versus thinking about how my abdominal muscles are burning.
So for the benefit of those who weren't here yesterday, boat pose is essentially a metaphor for a boat crossing turbulent waters. So thinking about any obstacles in your life that you're trying to work through or get past. And I love how it says to contemplate the metaphor of the boat as a vehicle for your journey, and that you really need two things then for the journey to lift the anchor, because you can't row, you'll just stay in one place. You'll never be able to get off the boat if you don't lift the anchor. And lifting the anchor means to raise your awareness. And then the other thing is a good captain. And the good captain can come in the form of a close friend, a confidant, a mentor, a teacher, a guru, a therapist. And with that, guiding, again, it's a way to get to the other side of the river, of the lake, of whatever body of water you're crossing. And again, just a metaphor for working through these obstacles. And boat pose reminds us to lift our anchor, attune ourselves to the universal current, and be open for guidance so that we can safely cross the turbulent waters. So we'll weave boat pose into today's practice, but also, the reason why we do core work is because every pose, so think about downward dog for a moment. Downward dog, if you engage your abdominal muscles versus just letting them be soft and supple and loose, the minute that you bring awareness to those abdominal muscles in downward dog, you'll sense maybe a little bit more of a lift of your sits bones, or creating more space in your pelvis area. So there's so many applications when you're in tabletop. Engage the abdominal muscles, and you'll maybe start to feel little subtle shifts in the poses with that engagement of the core. It also helps to stabilize the pelvis area when you engage your abdominal muscles, and that helps with balance poses. So we're going to work on balance a little bit today. Leo's favorite pose, I think his first class he ever came to, we did half moon pose. And he's like, I think I cracked a rib. I'm like, oh God, no, please no. But we've got, I think, enough wall space for the number here today, but also with blocks to practice. We'll do warrior 3 and then moving into half moon. The abdominal power can help lift you in those poses, can help you feel more stable in those poses. So let's just welcome ourselves here, soft gaze or close the eyes. Welcome to our friends at home. Thanks for joining us. And take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out, and just take a moment to, with your eyes closed, visualize your mat. Just this peripheral, call it our rectangle of Zen. And just welcome yourself here and take a moment to connect with why you're here, what brought you here today, what is it about this practice that provides meaning for you, for having it as part of your day. Connecting with our two life partners, the earth and the air we breathe. Take a moment to really feel your seat rooting down and connecting with the support of the earth. Expressing gratitude toward it, all that it brings. It's really a phenomenon, right? We're the only planet where human life exists, where we see these beautiful green trees, flowers, grass. We're not a planet of poisonous gases. And then the air we breathe. Connecting to those two elements, bring your hands to heart center, form an intention as it relates to either an obstacle that you're working to overcome, looking toward your practice to help you move through those turbulent waters, or maybe bringing into mind that captain in your life that helps you to navigate those waters and feel that person or that being's presence, offering gratitude out. Let's open with the sound of Om. Take a full inhale and empty the breath all the way. A little facial yoga. Lift the corners of your mouth slightly up. Bring a smile to your face. Let that just wash over you. Flicker the eyes open. And let's come to warm up with the magic 10 this morning. So find downward dog. Take a few breaths to get into downward dog. If you need blocks under the hands to modify, pedal out your downward. Take a few breaths before we then come into stillness. And the magic 10, it's 10 poses. We do each pose for a 10 breath count. So I'll guide you through it. So find your way then into stillness and downward dog. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, exhale 6. Inhale, exhale 7. Inhale, exhale 8. Inhale, exhale 9. Inhale, exhale 10. Look between your hands and walk your feet up. So we're coming into our forward fold Uttanasana. Modify with blocks under the hands as an option. Feet are about hip distance apart. Make sure the outside edges of your feet are parallel with each other. Looking for that fold in half. So try and have the knees straight. So if that means lifting the earth to you, take that option. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, exhale 6. Inhale, exhale 7. Inhale, exhale 8. Inhale, exhale 9. Inhale, exhale 10. Lift up halfway, take your feet out as wide as your mat. We're coming into our yogi squat, malasana. So if you need to support your seat with 1 or 2 blocks, go ahead and stack them. And they should be behind and in between your heels so that you bend, knees tracking with your second toe, and drop your seat. Bring the elbows, if you're on two blocks, elbows are going to come to your thighs, hands together in prayer. One block, maybe you can get the elbows inside the knees. If you're not using any blocks, separating those knees to have the elbows in between. Ideally, you want to try and lift the chest. So inhale, exhale one. Inhale, exhale two. Inhale, exhale three. Inhale, exhale four. Inhale, exhale five. Inhale, exhale six. Inhale, exhale seven. Inhale, exhale eight. Inhale, exhale nine. Inhale, exhale 10. Sit back on your bottom, hugging the knees into the chest, coming into our TP twist. Sit up nice and tall on your sits bones. Wrap the left arm in front of the legs. Take your right hand behind. Try not to lean back, but use that hand as a kickstand. So not too much weight in it. Coming into your twist. Inhale, exhale one. Inhale, exhale two. Inhale, exhale three. Inhale, exhale four. Inhale, exhale five. Come through center. Take it the other way. Inhale, exhale one. Inhale, exhale two. Inhale, exhale three. Inhale, exhale four. Inhale, exhale five. Come to center, extend the legs. Coming into our other twist where we draw the right knee into the chest. Step it over the left leg. Right hand comes behind. Inhale, left arm, reach it up high. Keep the left foot flexed. Twisting to the right. 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale one. Inhale, exhale two. Inhale, exhale three. Inhale, exhale four. Inhale, exhale five. Release that right leg. Sit up nice and tall as you draw the left knee into the chest. Step it over the right. Left hand comes behind. Inhale, right arm. Exhale into the twist. To the left. Inhale. Exhale one. Inhale. Exhale two. Inhale. Exhale three. Inhale. Exhale four. Inhale. Exhale five. Come to center. Setting up for reverse tabletop. So if you'd like to use your blocks under your hands, go ahead and position them behind you under the hands. Bring your feet where your knees work. About fist distance apart. On your inhale, scoot your sits bones toward your heels and then lift the hips up, pressing into the feet, trying to find level front of the body and the back, finding full extension in the arms, opening up the shoulders, chin can stay to the chest, or you can drop the head back. And we're at about 3 breaths in. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, exhale 6. Inhale, exhale 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. And inhale. Exhale, 10. Lower back down. And then coming to do the handstand part of the practice. So let's just all come to the wall and we'll do 90 degrees. So find a spot. Feet are hip distance apart. You're pressing the hands into the wall so that your arms are straight, finding a 90-degree angle. So your sits bones are moving toward the center of the room. Jackie, walk your feet in a little closer. Susan, drop down. Walk your feet in a little closer. And then bend in half. 90 degrees. Head between the arms. And try and take the rounding out of the back. Just like a shoulder blade. Yes. Yeah, beautiful. Gorgeous. So Leo, bend down a little bit lower and fold in half. So you're sticking your sits bones toward me. Down and shoot your sits bones this way. Try to take that rounding out. Beautiful, everyone. Satish, pull that belly in. Take that rounding out. Lift the head up. Throw the belly. There you go. Do you really feel that stretch in the hamstrings? Beautiful. And Nick, if you want to practice handstand, you're welcome to. 4 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Walk yourself back toward the wall or fold in half if you want. Make your way back to the front of your mat after you've taken a couple breaths and finding mountain pose, Tadasana at the front of your mat. And finding Tadasana, the weight is in your heels. Feel that lengthening down of the low back. Really engage. Kneecaps are lifting, thighs engage, and then sweep your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. This is just a posture alignment here. Extend your arms so your knuckles are reaching toward the earth. You feel the shoulder blades drawing toward each other and down the back. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Sweep the arms over the head, preparing for our side bends. Interlace the fingers, index fingers pointing straight up. Keep that Tadasana stance with your body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend to the left. 1. Inhale through center, side bend to the right. 2. Inhale through center to the left. 3. Inhale through center to the right. 4. Inhale through center to the left. 5. Inhale through center to the right. 6. Inhale through center, left. 7. Inhale through center, right. 8. Inhale through center, left. 9. Inhale through center, right. 10. Come to center. Keep those fingers interlaced and cradle the head. Pull the elbows out to the sides as you inhale, lengthening up. And on your exhale, arch gently in the upper back. Inhale, stay here, arch a little bit more, 2. Stay here, inhale on your exhale, maybe arch a little bit more, 3. And then inhale, back upright, drawing the elbows in, tucking chin to chest, 4. The spinal roll all the way down, 1 breath at a time. Inhale, lower a little bit, 5. Inhale, exhale, lower a little bit, 6. Inhale, lower a little bit, 7. Inhale, lower a little bit on your exhale, 8. Inhale, lower a little bit, 9. Inhale, lower a little bit more, 10. Inhale, lower a little bit, 11. Rounding the spine into your exhale, 12. Bend the knees a lot. Bring your forehead to your knees, 13. Inhale, elbows out to the sides. Lift up a little bit, 14. Inhale, straighten the legs. Come upright. Elbows still out to the side, 15. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch back, 16. And Tadasana. Full breath in and out. That's the magic 10. Sun salutation A. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, dive into your forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. Bend the knees, step back to plank pose. Take a full breath in, and then on your exhale, lower your knees down. Hug the elbows in as you lower the upper body to the mat. Hands end up under your shoulders. Setting up for Cobra, hug the elbows into the side body. Tilt your pelvis toward the floor, and then on your next inhale, lift the upper body, Cobra. And exhale, lower down, tuck toes under, push through tabletop, back to a child's pose squat, and then lift the legs, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Feel that engagement in the lower abdominal area. The head is in a neutral position in between the arms, and your gaze is looking at your knees. Really feel like you're engaged in the abdominal area to feel those sits bones lifting a little higher to the sky and feeling more spinal extension. Extension in the arms. There you go, nice. You can always bend your knees a little bit here in downward dog so that you can work those sits bones even higher. And then lift your gaze, look between your hands, either a light hop forward or walk your feet up. Inhale, find a half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, the arms around, overhead, lifting with that flat back. Pressing the palms together, drawing them down to your heart center. And then Tadasana. Finding chair pose. So our second sun salutation, we start in chair. Soften the shoulders. Feel the weight in your heels. One more inhale, and then exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank pose. And then your choice, either lower chaturanga and come into upward dog, or lower the knees down, and then the upper body, just like we did before, find Cobra. And then we all meet in downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Inhale, right leg up, 3-legged dog.
Draw that right knee into your chest and step that right foot forward, spiraling left heel down. We're lifting into warrior one. Virabhadrasana 1. Let's stay here for a full breath. Inhale and exhale. We're going to come down into our plank on the next exhale. Lower the hands to the mat. Step the right foot back. We're in plank. Your choice, either lower chaturanga or lower knees and then the upper body. Transitioning into upward dog or cobra. And then coming back into downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, left leg up. Three-legged dog. Hug that left knee into the chest and step it down. Spiral right heel down. Your hips are facing forward. Press into your left foot. Right foot, lift up, warrior one. Breathe in, left knee bending toward a 90-degree angle. Sinking the hips down a little bit to really feel that right hip flexor. And the next exhale, hands come down. We step back to plank. Lower your choice, knees, and then upper body or chaturanga, and then upward dog or cobra. And then pushing seat to heels if you were in cobra, or just coming right into downward dog from upward dog. 5 breaths. Downward dog almost becomes a rest pose. So make little micro adjustments. Bring awareness to your abdominals. Engage the abdominals. Feel your sits bones lifting up. And now focus on your arms. See if you can hide your armpits from your neighbor to feel an external rotation in the upper arms to open up across the upper back and shoulders. One more breath in and out. Look between your hands and either a light hop forward or walk the feet up. Inhale to a half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into chair, so bending the knees, taking your seat back, arms either to prayer or up by the ears. One more breath here. Next, inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up, lengthen a little arch of the upper back, and then hands to heart center, finding mountain pose, Tadasana. Nice job, everyone. Full breath in and out. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, dive forward. So we're going to come into low lunge. If you want to use blocks, go ahead and grab them and place them on either side of your feet. Then we're going to bend our knees and shoot that right leg back. So try and send it back as far as you can and stay up on the ball of your right foot, that right heel lifted. We're in low lunge. So you want to make sure your left knee is in line with your left ankle. So yes, you can bring that forward a little bit. Lift your chest. Let's do Superman arms. Engage in the core. Press into that left foot. Balance on the ball of the right foot. And then drop the knees, sweep the arms up, come into Anjaneyasana. Full breath in and exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen the arms up. And exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, cactus arms. And then bring the hands to prayer. Bring the top of the right foot to the mat. Twist to the left. Lean the upper body toward, so you can hook that right knee with the left knee with the right elbow. An option to tuck your right toes under and lift that right knee to straighten that leg. Only an option. Otherwise, you're twisting in. Same thing with the bended knee. One more breath in. If you lifted that leg, go ahead and drop it. Everybody, let's meet hands in front of the heart. Take the hands down, tuck your right toes under, lift up and step back to plank and lower your choice. Chaturanga or knees and then the upper body. Coming into upward dog or cobra and then downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Look between your hands, walk your feet up or a light hop forward. Coming into low lunge on the other side. So if you use the place them on either side of your feet again. Knees are bent, shoot that left leg back. Make a 90-degree angle with your right knee in line with right ankle. And then float the arms up behind you, Superman arms, find some balance here. Really feeling like you're rooting down through that right foot. Next, inhale, drop left knee, sweep your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, one more time, lengthening. Exhale, cactus arms, and then bring the hands together to prayer. Twist to your right, top of the foot on the mat. Lean the body forward to hook the elbow with the knee, and then maybe lift that left knee. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. One more inhale and exhale. Drop the knee if you lifted it. Hands to heart center, down to the blocks. Lift up, step the right leg back, and just press right into downward facing dog. Either staying on the blocks or coming off of them. Breathe in. Breathe out. Use downward dog as a rest. Feel the fullness of your breath. But also, now that you're warmed up, start to notice shifts, maybe in the hamstrings, in your hip flexors, maybe in your shoulders. One more breath in and out. And then look between your hands. If you've got the blocks, this could be a fun time to play when hopping forward. You bend your knees a lot. Your feet are going to go where your gaze is looking. So you keep your gaze in between the blocks and then hop your feet forward. Remember hopscotch? Remember hopscotch? Inhale, hop lift. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms around, overhead, hands to heart center, Tadasana, mountain pose. Full breath in and out. Let's bring our blocks in front of us. So come to like a half lift. So you can place your blocks on the wood in front of your mat, under your shoulders. So they should be shoulder distance apart and under your shoulders. And then lift back up. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step your right leg back, not as far as low lunge, so more like a high lunge. Keep that right heel lifted and lift up into high lunge. Put the arms up by the ears. Right leg straight. So it's a great stepping off point for Warrior 3. So in Warrior 3, we want to keep our hips facing forward. When we all stay here. When we lift the right leg, just like in tabletop and spinal balance, we want to keep our sacrum level. So watch first. This is where we're going. So stay right where you are. We're going to lean forward, catch the blocks, press into that left foot, and lift that right leg. Hip height, the toes stay. And then we're going to drop back down to high lunge. So we're going to work going forward and back. So high lunge. And then exhale, lean forward, catch your blocks, lift that right leg. And then drop the right foot, so mindfully dropping. Inhale, arms lift up. Engage your core. Inhale, lifting to warrior three. Exhale into high lunge. Inhale, warrior three. Straighten that left leg. Exhale, high lunge. You do 5? I think we did 5. Bring that right foot forward, shake it out. So other side. So each side 5 times. Any questions on placement, movement? So you're really looking to keep that hip alignment as you move through and bring the mindfulness into it. It almost becomes like a little mini meditation. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, and exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, step the left foot back, again, not as far as low lunge, just so you can straighten that left leg. You're on the ball of the foot. When you're ready to lift up, you're pressing into the right foot. Find stability, find balance. Hips are facing the mirror. So if that left hip is trying to draw back, bring it forward. So one more breath to settle in here. Inhale into warrior three. And exhale, high lunge. Inhale, warrior three. And exhale, high lunge. Inhale, warrior three. And modify as you need to. If you've had enough, if you can maybe do 2 more. Try and land as gracefully as you come in. So you're not twisting the body at all. So really try not to come into ballerina. You're dropping down to warrior one. You want to, so that, yeah, so then you don't twist the hips at all. Okay, one more. Yeah, don't lift that left hip so high. Level it out. Yeah. And instead of bringing it behind that right foot, it should drop down 2 planks of wood so that the hips are staying level the whole time. So finishing up in high lunge. So let's see how high that's lifted. There's level. And now drop that. I know, yeah. And then you just drop. It's so funny, muscle memory. So then dropping it so it's on 2 planks of wood. Yeah. And then come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Full breath in. Full breath out. So moving into half moon, it's a little different now because half moon, so warrior three, the hips are still facing forward. When we go into half moon, we'll start in warrior three, but then we're going to lift. Can you guys see how I'm opening my hip? I'm going to start to put the weight in my right hand on the block. This might be all where you work today, just lifting that hip, my right leg really straight, really supporting me. Ideally, Then you lift the left arm so that it's a full opening of the body going up toward the sky. But it's really nice to start in Warrior Three. You've got that support, and then all you're doing is just starting to shift the weight into the right foot as you open the left hip. So let's start. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to come back to our high lunge and push off into Warrior Two, what we just practiced. So take that right foot back. Find your high lunge. Sweep the arms up. Then reach forward for your blocks. Sorry, I'm doing the opposite leg, but push off and come into Warrior Three. Stay in Warrior Three here with your hands on the blocks. Your right leg lift, I want to make sure everybody's hips are level. Right there. Turn your right toes to the floor. So now start to put pressure in your left hand. Keep your right hand there. And now open that right hip to this exit wall. And turn your toes to the exit wall. Don't worry about lifting the arm, just worry about opening that hip. Keep the left leg straight. Open. And now maybe start. So you might take the blocks a little bit further apart. Practice that side just one more time, opening that right hip. See how my foot is turned and flexed. So when you're in the pose, you want to lengthen through that lifted leg. And then let's lower back down, come to forward fold. And hold opposite elbows, hang like a Raggedy Ann doll, sway from side to side, release that side. It's done. The first side is always the hardest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your knees, release the bind, and roll up to stand. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, forward fold. Lift up halfway. Plant the hands, and then step the left leg back, finding your high lunge, so that left heel is lifted. Your feet are on 2 planks of wood. Inhale, arms float up. So find steadiness here, then lean forward. Push off the left foot, lifting it, find your Warrior Three. Lower that left hip. And then, feeling steady here, start to open. So hands are on the blocks, but you start rotating that left hip up to the sky. And then start playing with taking your left hand off the block. Yep, you got to steady yourself on that left foot because the weight distribution you need to hold on to with your core. So try not to let that left leg swing back past the midline. Think about just opening the hip up to the sky. And the right hand faces the TV. When you've had enough, come back to Warrior Three and then forward fold. And then let's just make our way down to child's pose. So find tabletop, take the knees wide, bring the toes to touch, and just surrender and melt. Maybe move from side to side, sinking into your hips, working the chest down toward the floor, or the head can rest. You could even use both blocks. Put one at the belly and one under the head for supported child's pose. And melt into your breath here. Feel the rib cage flaring out. See if you can sit back a little bit lower towards your heels. One more breath in and out. And then slowly lifting up where you're sitting on your heels, rock off onto one hip, swing the legs out in front of you. Scoot the sits bones towards your heels so that you can lower down to the mat, similar to what we did yesterday. Grab a block for bridge pose. We're going to place the block in between our thighs. And then judge the distance by reaching your arms out. See if you can just graze, almost graze the back of your heels. Squeeze the thighs into the block. Take the arms a little bit away from the body, palms face down, so you can kind of press the arms and the palms into the floor as you lift up into bridge. On your inhale, lift your hips. See if you can move the chest towards your chin. You keep your nose and your eyes facing the ceiling. So try not to drop your chin towards your chest, but lift your chest toward your chin. Feel those thighs engaged. Feel the glutes engaged. One more inhale. See if you can maybe lift the hips just a little bit more. And then exhale, one vertebrae at a time, lower down. Keep the block there. We're going to do another bridge. So when you're ready, next inhale, lift back up. Really sense that engagement in the backside. Those glutes are really helping with your spinal extension here. If you're pretty lifted, a lot of you are, maybe try tucking one shoulder under at a time, and then find your hands, interlace them so the palms are touching, and press the arms into the floor, and that might help you feel a greater lift. If it's not working for you, just come back to untucking the shoulders. Don't worry about that. It's just a way for a deeper opening of the shoulders and of the heart space. One more inhale. If you tucked them under, go ahead and release, and then everybody lower down, one vertebrae at a time. And then third bridge, supported bridge. So take your block and either place it at the lowest height, or you can turn it up to the middle, but have the long side going across your low back. So coming into a more restorative version of bridge. We give your back opportunity to surrender into the block. So even in supported bridge, we want our feet and our knees and our hips all in alignment. So give yourself an opportunity here to ungrip. But still feel some engagement so that your knees aren't starting to fall out to the sides. You're still in that alignment, but allowing the contraction to soothe. Another breath in and out. And then if you're at the middle height, so if you're at the lowest height, stay right where you are. If you're at the middle height, go ahead and lower it to the lowest height. And then we're going to come into our psoas stretch. So stretch the legs out toward me so the heels are resting on the mat, and then stay there, or option to float your arms overhead. And if you're floating the arms overhead, try and glide your shoulder blades under a little bit to help your arms settle on the floor. And just breathe into the whole front of your body right now. Really feel the lengthening of the abdominal muscles, all that core work we did with our balancing, the engagement. So now's the time to just allow those muscles to lengthen. Use your breath, really feel your breath opening up that space in the front body. And also your psoas muscle is now relaxing. So if you feel any gripping in the pelvis area, bring awareness there and allow it to soften. One more breath in and out. And then lowering the arms. Bring the feet in so that you can press into the feet and lift up off your block. Lowering down, hug the knees into your chest, and then rock them down to the left, coming into a spinal twist. So you want your knees and your thighs in line with the navel. And make a 90-degree angle with the legs so that the right thigh and knee is stacking on top of the left. Extend right arm out to the side, not higher than the shoulder, palm face up. The gaze is either looking up, or you can turn your head to look out over the right arm. Settling into the twist. If there's any discomfort in the low back, you can place a block in between the thighs and the knee. Soften the neck, soften the brow, soften the jaw. Lengthen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Letting the eyes close or be soft. And really try and feel the sensation of how this pose is working your organs inside. Next inhale, start to rock onto your back, drawing the knees in. Neutralize your spine. When you're ready, dropping the knees down over to the right. If you used a block on the other side, go ahead and switch the block. Try and have your legs, your thighs, and your knees coming straight out from the navel, and then making that 90-degree angle with the knees. And the left arm extending out from the shoulder, palm face up. And again, head is either looking up, or you can turn your head to look out over the left arm. Lengthening the inhales, Lengthening the exhales. Inhale, the knees back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Lift your forehead up to your knees. And then slowly release down into either constructive rest or corpse pose, your choice. Constructive rest, you're placing your feet as wide as the mat. Separate, create some distance between heels and bones, and then let the thighs and knees fall together. Or corpse pose, extending the legs out onto the mat. Take up some space if you're choosing corpse pose. So legs are apart, arms coming out to the sides, and adjust as you need to allow the back to fully settle into the floor. So that might mean having to lengthen down through the tailbone, or maybe lifting the chest a little bit to glide the shoulder blades under. Being aware of your breath. Begin to feel a gentle warmth as the back rests against the floor. And allow the sensation to rise through the front of the body. Soften the face. Let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. Soften the front of the neck and throat, the chest, and the tops of the shoulders. And the arms all the way to the tips of your fingers. Relax the rib cage.
in the area of your heart. And feel your abdomen soften as it rises and falls with the breath. The tops of the thighs soften. And this relaxed attention, let it flow down to the tips of your toes, and then move it back to the crown of the head, feeling as if your breath is like an ocean wave. Breathing this relaxed attention over the front of the body and exhaling it down the back side of the body or the other way. Just feel this cycle of your effortless breath. Becoming more attuned with yourself, the universal current, to the divine will, to pure love. Maybe now answering that question from the start of the practice, what brought you here today? How does yoga or love fit into your life? Can I make any changes in my life to attune with divine love? And how does your life fit into the life of the divine? Thinking of that boat safely taking you to shore across any turbulent waters in your life. Start to deepen your breath as you wiggle fingers, toes, circle wrists and ankles, starting with small movements, and then maybe working your way up to inhaling the arms overhead, deepening the breath, drawing knees into the chest, roll into your right side for a few breaths, feeling an awakening, an enlivening, breathing awareness back into your body and mind and soul. And after you've taken a few breaths on your right side, lean that chest in toward the earth and then press into the left hand to circle yourself back up to a seat. Keeping the eyes closed or at a soft gaze. Feeling your sits bones connect with the earth once more, your spine lengthening, your chest lifting and opening. And let's circle the arms around overhead, bringing the palms together, drawing down gratitude and thanks to your heart. A soft bow of the head toward your heart, and take a moment to thank yourself for being here. I thank you for being here. Thanking this beautiful yoga community, the teachings that have been brought to us. Let's seal the practice with the sound of Om. Take a full inhale, empty the breath out. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you this day. Thank you. There you go. You guys can practice half moon. If you have a wall at home, you can practice half moon against the wall.
We don't have a wall like that. I think everybody has a wall.
Everybody has a wall. And maybe you have a block or some books and you can reach down and then open the hip and lean against the wall.
You're making it easy.
Yeah. Computer, I love it. It's like the fear,
too. Half move, you know, that. Another thing that the legs support you. Straight. Yes. What are you doing? So come against the wall for a second. And come down. Yep. Don't lift that leg yet. Just make sure your hand. And now, right against the wall. Full support, straight back leg. Working that open and yeah. And that opening across the chest and the upper side. Yes, yes, yes. It would be a great switch for your practice. And then of course the other side. You just and that block, what's nice is that you can go into the block first, get that support, have your body against the wall, and then open up. But remember to open up the palms so that instead of you don't want the shoulder to collapse, but open towards the gap. You're welcome. Thanks everyone. Oh yeah, I'm yeah.